سبحانه وتعالى يقول أفلا يتدبرون القرآن ولو كان من عند غير الله لوجدوا فيه اختلافا كثيرا.
بسم الله. طيب، بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، صلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Alright, so as we go through this book, there are certain things that we're gonna skip over, okay? Certain things that we're gonna skip over, inshallah, because it really, certain things that deal with the Arabic language, certain things that deal with, specific vocabulary, we really don't need to know at this stage, okay? What we need to understand right now is just basically understand what we're trying to learn. So for example, al-ahkam, alright, rulings. Knowing the linguistic meaning and we don't need to know that right now. Alright, the main thing is that we understand what a hukm is. Okay? So for example, he says al-ahkam is the plural of hukm, وهو لغة القضاء, and linguistically this means al-qada. Alright? Al-qada means judgment, as he translates over here, or judging, or this is what al-qada means. Alright? You guys can read it, because this book is translated. You guys can read this. Alright? Main thing is that we understand this bab. This bab that we are going to deals with the rulings. The 5 rulings. Alright? Al-ahkam is 2 types. There's taklifiyya and there's wad'iyya. In taklifiyya there's 5 rulings. And wad'iyya there's about 7. Alright? Here he starts off by saying babul ahkam. باب الأحكام. الأحكام جمع حكم وهو لغة القضاء واصطلاح المقتضى وخطاب الشرع المتعلق بأفعال المكلفين من طلب أو تخيير أو وضع. Alright? What does al-ahkam mean? Alright? You guys see where it's bold, which has been necessitated by the speech of the legislator. Alright? Relating to the actions those burdened with carrying out the obligations of the legislation are mandated either by request or choice or state. Alright? Yeah, this is second pointer. Translator wafaqahullah should have put this in a different because the first line deals with the linguistic meaning. The second line, starting from the bold right in the middle after the comma, is the istilahi meaning. Alright, the technical meaning of al-ahkam. So he should have put it in a different either sentence or actually made that clear, because the reader is going to be looking at this, he's going to be a little confused. Wallahu alam. So al-muhim, you guys see where it says which has been necessitated by the speech of the legislator relating to the actions those burdened with carrying out, all the way to state. That is the definition of hukm or ahkam. Hukm is a singular word and ahkam is the plural word. You guys have to know these rulings, these definitions, okay? These definitions you have to know. You don't have to know the exact wording of it in English. Just understand what it's trying to say. If I ask you what is the definition of hukm on the exam, for example, alright, or ahkam, or Usul Alfiqi, alright, in Arabic you have to know word by word. But in English, just understand it. You can explain it, okay? And inshallah, what I'll do at the end, is, because we don't have the Arabic, all right, in the book. We only have the English. What I'll try to do is I'll put all the definitions in one page. All right, I'll put all the definitions, inshallah, bi'idhnillah. I'll put it in one page, the Arabic and the English, so that you guys can memorize the Arabic, all right, and the English. You guys understand, and you can use your own words. You don't have to be picky about the English. All right. The main thing is that you understand what a hukm is. Okay, let's go into the meaning of this definition. مقتضاه خطاب الشرع, which has been necessitated by the speech of the legislator. Legislator meaning 2 things. Let's write this down. Legislator, خطاب الشرع means 2. The Quran and the Sunnah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That is what the legislator or khitab al-shar' means. Okay? Because can anyone legislate other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Yes or no? What's the answer to that? Can anyone legislate Yes or no? Other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yes or no? You guys sleeping or what? No? You guys sure? What about when a scholar gives a fatwa? It's based on the Quran and Sunnah. But is it that legislating in a sense? When he says something is halal or is haram, he signs it off. Isn't that legislating? He's saying this is allowed under Islamic law. But he's explaining a ruling. Okay. Yes, this is legislation. But the legislation that we're discussing here in this context is different. Alright? The scholars, when they give out fatwa, this is a legislation. In fact, alright, the Prophet ﷺ, what did he say? Al-ulama warathatul anbiya. The inheritors of the prophets are the scholars. Why? The scholars, when they explain this hadith, they say, because the scholar takes the place of a prophet. The prophet says this is halal and this is haram. This is okay to do, this is not okay to do. The scholar comes and he says that he does the same thing, same job. This is halal, this is haram. This is okay, this is not okay. Leave this off, do this. But what is meant here in the ta'rif is not the scholar. Khitab al-shar', alright, legislator here is referring to Quran and Sunnah here specifically. Alright? نعم. والمراد بقوله المتعلق بأفعال المكلفين ما يتعلق بأعمال سواء كان قولا أم فعلا إيجادا أم تركا, basically relating to the actions those burdened with carrying out the obligations of the legislation. You guys see this? This is referring to fiqh. This is referring to fiqh. You can summarize this long sentence into just fiqh. Fiqh meaning any physical action that you have to do that is required by those that are obligated. Who are those that are obligated? Yani, somebody who has reached of age and is not sane. Alright, and is not sane. Somebody who has reached of age and is not what? And is not sane. Alright, this person is in the Sharia is known as al-mukallaf. Alright, al-mukallaf. Or at-taklif. Okay? And we know that in fiqh, the only people that are obligated to do something are those who are of age and those who are sane. Except for zakah, there's an exception, some exceptions. We say there's always exceptions. Zakah, the majority of the scholars, they say, even if a person hasn't reached the age of puberty, they still have to pay zakah if they reach the nisab, if they reach the what? The level. You guys remember when we took zakah? There's a level you have to reach for zakat to be an obligation. Even if you're young and you possess money, you have to pay. نعم. من طلب والمراد بقولنا من طلب الأمر والنهي سواء على السبيل الإلزام أو الأفضلية. He says here either by request or choice or states. Okay, by request. Request in the Arabic language يعني طلب. Whether it's a command or an obligation. Request meaning a command or obligation. Alright? So, any command or obligation, a command or prohibition that comes in the Quran, command and prohibition. Any command or prohibition that comes in the Quran or the Sunnah. Alright, that's one. أو تخيير. Alright, أو تخيير, when you have a choice. Choice meaning something that is permissible. Choice meaning something that is permissible. يعني مباح. Anything that is permissible. Or state, وضع. Wada' is referring to, alright, wada', to be honest, I haven't seen any good definition of al-wada', including the author here. Alright, and the reason why is pretty difficult to define it, but it's understood. It's understood, it's kind of understood. It's something that doesn't have to do with the ruling per se, whether it's recommended, obligation or not, but it revolves around it. Like the validity of a transaction, for example. Is this transaction valid or invalid? Or the conditions, for example. Conditions of salah, conditions of zakat, conditions of marriage, conditions of al-bay', of a transaction. Okay? That doesn't have to do with ruling. It has to do with al-wada' or states. Or, for example, reasons. For example, for the sun to pass the middle of the sky. This is a reason for us to pray Salat al-Dhuhr, because the sun has to pass its zenith for Dhuhr to come in. This is a reason. So things like validity and conditions and reason and invalidators. For example, somebody who eats camel meat, alright, according to the correct opinion, that breaks your wudu, or that invalidates your wudu. Na'am. For example, somebody who kills their father. You kill your father, what happens? Or you kill your son, or any family member that inherits from you, you're not allowed to inherit. Alright, this invalidates you from you taking a part of inheritance. You guys get the point. Alright? And inshallah we will discuss this. أقسام الأحكام الشرعية is two types. Alright? أقسام الأحكام الشرعية is of two types. Alright? Page number 13. You guys see the types of commands in the Sharia fall into two categories: taklifiyya and wad'iyya. Alright, taklifiyya and wad'iyya. Everybody underline this. Taklifiyya and wad'iyya. Alright, these are the two types. The first type is taklifiyya. And taklifiyya are five, as he says here. فالتكليفية خمسة: الواجب والمندوب والمحرم والمكروه والمباح. كام شرع الله 7 تقسم: الفرض والمندوب والمحرم، والرابع المكروه ثم ما أبيح، والسادس الباطل واختم بالصحيح. Alright? Some scholars they say it's 7. Some scholars they say it's 7. They add a transaction being valid or not into the ahkam al-taklifiyya. Lakin as-sahih, as the author has said, is part of al-wad'iyya. So we have rulings, right? We know that rulings consist of 3 things: a request, a choice, or state. Okay? All rulings are divided into 2: taklifiyya and wad'iyya. Taklifiyya are 5 types. Alright? 4 of them have to deal with request, and 1 of them has to do with choice. And wad'iyya, inshallah, we'll get to it. So taklifiyya are 5 types. You guys know ahkam al-taklifiyya. The first one, الواجب لغة الساقط. فالواجب لغة الساقط. Al-wajib in the Arabic language is anything that has fallen, or anything that is obligatory. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Al-Hajj, فَإِذَا وَجَبَتْ جُنُوبُهَا. Alright? Wajib sometimes means something that is fallen, or something that is obligatory. Same thing here in the istilah. He says here, ما أمر به الشارع على وجه الإلزام كالصلوات الخمس. We're going to go through this quickly because you guys already know this. Wajib is something that is what? Is obligatory. Okay? Something that is obligatory, that the legislator has commanded, alright, and has ordered. Like the 5 daily prayers, like the zakah, like the hajj once in your lifetime, like the fasting in the month of Ramadan, so on and so forth. Okay? على وجه الإلزام, that is, you have to do it. You don't have a choice. You have to do it. Okay? Now, the Hanafiya, they differentiate between al-fard and wajib. Hanafiya, they differentiate between fard and wajib. They say fard, or something that is obligation that is certain, and wajib is an obligation that is not as certain, but you still have to do it. But the other 3 scholars, they don't differentiate between both. They say fard, wajib, lazim. These terms all mean the same thing. Why do the Hanafis differentiate? Because they say, for example, they differentiate between fard and wajib in bab, in all of the abwab of fiqh, in all of the chapters of fiqh. I'll give you guys an example. The Hanafis, they have the opinion that Salatul Witr is wajib. Salatul Witr is wajib. You guys know Salatul Witr, the 3 rak'ahs, or the 1 rak'ah, or 5. It has to be an odd number of rak'ahs, 1 to 11, after the Isha prayers. After the keyword, what? After the Isha prayers. And it's not during Isha time. And the difference between both wordings is that if you happen to combine between Maghrib and Isha, are you allowed to pray Salatul Witr? Yes, you are. Even though technically you are, you're still in the time of Maghrib. Let's say you're traveling, Maghrib comes in at 8, and you pray Maghrib and Isha together, and then you pray Witr right after. Is your Salatul Witr, does it count? Yes, it counts, even though you prayed Witr during Maghrib time. So it's about when you pray Isha, and not the time. As long as when you pray Isha, you're allowed to. Okay? I got it. Let's go back to fiqh a little bit. I want to ask you guys a question real quick. If somebody travels to Las Vegas, for example, and you guys know why somebody would go to Las Vegas. Somebody goes to Las Vegas for some matters. Okay. And he combines between Maghrib and Isha. Is that person allowed to pray Salatul Witr? Excellent. Excellent. They're not allowed to combine. So the Witr, is it counted? It's not counted. Remember we said one of the conditions for you, even if you're traveling, is that you have to travel for a halal reason. Alright, and somebody going to Las Vegas, not everybody, but you guys know, most likely, or a great chance, is going there for haram reasons. Let's say that person is going there for haram reasons. They're not allowed to combine, and even if they do combine, is their Witr valid? It's not valid. And if he's a Hanafi and he believes that Witr is valid, is wajib, then he has to remake Salatul Witr. You see how everything is connected. Salatul Witr, they say it's wajib, but they don't say it's fard. They say the 5 daily prayers are fard, because it's certain. But because Witr, there's difference of opinion, and the hadith that have come in are not as strong, they say it's wajib. But the scholars from the 3 madhabs, Shafi'is, Malikis, and Hanbalis, they don't differentiate between these 2 wordings. Naam. The second one, والمندوب المندوب اصطلاحا ما أمر به الشارع لا على وجه الإلزام كالرواتب. المندوب, does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala command the recommended? Yes, He commands. There's a commandment. Alright. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, sometimes He will command us to do something that is recommended. Okay. But do we have to do it? No, we don't have to do it. We have the choice. Like Witr prayer according to the 3 madhabs, or any 2 rak'ah sunnah, so on and so forth. You guys get the point, right? Recommended, everybody knows what recommended is. طيب. Is there a difference between mandub and sunnah? No, there's no difference. Mandub, sunnah, mustahab, nafil. Alright? These are all terms that are used interchangeably to show something that is recommended. What's an example? Who can give me an example of something that is recommended? Who can give me an example of something that is recommended? Naam.
Fasting Mondays and Thursdays.
Fasting Mondays and Thursdays. Alright. Inshallah, you guys gonna fast tomorrow? Alright. I know most people, they fasted last Monday. Right? Because last Monday was what? So we give a little talk on what? On Arafah. Alright. طيب. Another thing that is recommended is what we're doing right now. What are we doing right now? Talab al-ilm, we're all seeking knowledge right now. Alright? That's highly recommended. طيب, number 3 is al-muharram. Or usually sometimes they make number 3 al-mubah. Alright, but la bas, al-muharram. Muharram in the Arabic language is al-mamnu', as he says here. Al-mamnu', something that is not allowed. Alright? And istilahan, the definition for it is something that the legislator has prohibited, that you cannot do. Alright? That you cannot do. Very, very easy. This is very easy, guys. Alright? The 4th one is al-makruh. The 4th one is al-makruh. Alright? The 4th one is al-makruh. I don't have it here. The 4th one is al-makruh. And that is, linguistically means something that is hated, as he says here. Al-ikrah is something that is not liked. Akrahu dhalik. I don't like it. And in the Sharia, or in istilah, it means something, alright, that is disliked. Alright, it's not forbidden. It's disliked. Like we said, give the example of drinking or eating with your left hand. This is what? This is disliked. Prophet ﷺ, he forbade us. Okay? Another example is the Prophet ﷺ, he forbade us from drinking standing up. Right or wrong? So is drinking standing up, is it disliked, or is it haram? What do you guys think?
Disliked.
Why is it disliked? The Prophet ﷺ in Sahih Muslim, Naha an shurbi qa'ima. He forbade us from drinking standing up. Alright, excellent. Who'll give me another reason? Anything that deals with matters, what did we say? Automatically it's disliked. Alright, most times. But there's another reason why it's also disliked. Because the Prophet ﷺ, he himself drank standing up. The Prophet ﷺ in Sahih Muslim as well, he drank Zamzam in Mecca standing up. Alright? He drank Zamzam standing up. Now you have two hadiths. One is the Prophet ﷺ drank, the Prophet ﷺ drank standing up, and the Prophet is forbidding us from drinking. What do we do here? This is another part of Usul Alfiqi that inshallah we will learn. What do you have when you have two hadiths that are contradicting? What do you do first? You try to combine. So some scholars they say, alright, in the beginning it wasn't allowed, now it's allowed. And some scholars they say, alright, this shows that it's haram and this shows that it's what? It's allowed. What is between allowed and muharram? Makruh, disliked. Some scholars they say the Prophet ﷺ cannot do anything that is disliked. How can we say anything the Prophet ﷺ did as disliked? How can we do that? Rather they use words like khilaf al-awla. Khilaf al-awla is like something that you shouldn't do. It's like it's between disliked and permissible. It's that gray area, right? Alright, it's like the yellow light when you have a camera on you and you don't know if the camera flashes on yellow lights or not. It's right in that gray area between permissibility and disliked. It's called khilaf al-awla. Some of them they say it's part of mubah, permissible, and some of them they say it's part of makruh, but it's around that area. Okay, I'll give you an example of khilaf al-awla. You guys want me to give you an example of khilaf al-awla? An example of this is Zamzam water. Can you use Zamzam water to clean yourself? Can you do that? Alright, the scholars they say it's khilaf al-awla. Yani if you have other types of water, then just use those water. But if you're going to use Zamzam, this is khilaf al-awla. Yani we can't say it's disliked, but it's not permissible. It's somewhere in between permissibility and disliked, although it's not a separate category by itself. And the scholars they differ which category does it go under. So this is khilaf al-awla. Wallahu a'lam. So some scholars they say drink is standing up. How can we say something the Prophet ﷺ did is what? Is disliked. Khilaf al-awla. Some scholars they say it's permissible. The Prophet ﷺ did it. End of story. That shows its permissibility. That first hadith, we're gonna let it go. And there's a lot of speech regarding this because there's matters that deal with the chain of narration and the hadith and all that. Wallahu a'lam. And Allah knows best. The point is we have to seek knowledge. And I seen one brother stand up to another brother. He seen that brother drinking up. He was drinking Zamzam, standing up. He was drinking Zamzam, standing up. And he came and he said, haram. Why are you drinking Zamzam? Standing up. Sit down. There's ways to deal with people like this, right? That need to learn. You have to respond in an adab manner. You shouldn't also be fiery yourself. La darara wa la dirara, as we have taken. Alright, but it shows you the importance of knowledge. The Prophet ﷺ drinks Zamzam while standing up. You can't come to a person and say this is haram. Alright, the worst of scholars have said that it's disliked. Alright, Allahu a'lam. Then Allah knows best. Number 5, that is khilaf al-awla. That's in that gray area. You shouldn't do it unless it's necessity. And it's not, alright? Because using the word makruh for the Prophet ﷺ is kind of tough. Very, very tough, right? Something the Prophet ﷺ did, can you say it's disliked? Yani the Prophet ﷺ did something that's disliked? Allahu a'lam. Allah knows best. Number 5 is mubah. Alright, the above mentioned 4, alright, deal with requests. Each and every single one is either a command or a prohibition. This last one, is it commanded? Is it a prohibition? No, you have the choice. Alright, like drinking and eating and sleeping and so on and so forth. Alright? This is what al-mubah means, something that is permissible. Something that is permissible. Alright? Now, al-mubah, sometimes you can get ajr for it. Doing a recommended, an obligation, you get ajr for it. We know that. Disliked, you don't get any sin for it. Haram, you get what? You get a sin for it. Mubah, no sins or rewards, but you can get rewards. How? How can you get a reward for doing something that is mubah? Huh? Excellent. Doing it with a good intention. Like if you say, you know what? I'm going to sleep right before class so I can be energetic doing talab al-ilm. Right? I'm going to take a little nap like some people need. If you say this, or if you do this, alright, sleeping is mubah. Do you get ajr for it? Yes, you do. Alright? So on and so, we discussed this many times. Alright? And this is why intention is very, very important. I sometimes just make an intention. What do you have to lose? Just make the intention of anything that you're doing permissible, you're doing it for the sake of Allah. Even if it's something so yani, subhanallah, so little, it doesn't matter. Just make that intention. What are you going to lose at the end of the day? Allah is either going to reward you or not going to reward you, right? Just make that intention. Just say I'm sleeping so I can wake up for Fajr. Don't say I'm sleeping so I can be good at work or school tomorrow. No. Say you're eating so that I can, I can use this energy for the sake of Allah. Even if you're eating to go play basketball or to play video games, just make that intention. That's why Imam Ahmad, he made that intention. He told his son, make a good intention even if you're not going to do it. Inwal khayra wa lam ta'mal. He said this to his son. Make the intention of doing good even if you're not going to do it. Even if you know you're not going to do it. Just make the intention of doing khayr. At the end of the day, what are you going to lose? You're not going to lose anything. إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ. Actions are based on intentions, even permissible acts. And that's why the mu'min has to be, a believer has to be somebody, alright, who doesn't let any opportunity slip. Every opportunity you have to get a reward, try to seize that opportunity, take advantage. Alright? Intentions can go far. Somebody can give $1 in sadaqah, and it's more valuable under the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than somebody who gave 100 G's, 100K. $1, 100K. The difference is intention. It's about quality and not quantity in Islam. So just make that intention. Alright. Inshallah we will stop there with Allah Azza wa Jal, and we'll continue with al-ahkam al-wad'iyyah next week. Wa sallallahu wa sallam wa baraka ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in.